Out there, you go screaming, fight, tag of lights at the lights. Every night, you fight, take a side, live a side, baby, show him an escapade. Bloody arcade, pixelated party lesson, they unafraid. Karaoke screams, singing themes, heart and sleeves. Anime dreams, brushing seams, city gleams, dancing screams, endless streams, lights extremes, Saturday gleams, so it's day gleams, so it seems nothing rings. Raise the channel, riot loud, crowd unbowed, techno sound, pulses pound, dream astound.
Good morning and welcome. It is 11 o'clock on the dot, and I am doing something I do very occasionally. Normally I do this with food, but I am doing something so you do not have to. And what I am doing is I am taking a look at the Neo tabletop role-playing game system Skullhorn edition by our good friend CondorDM. Full disclosure and transparency for legal reasons. I did not pay for this. It was gifted to me by an individual who prefers to remain nameless, and I am respecting that. I would not give $35 for this game, not because of my personal relationship with Condor, but for reasons I will get to shortly. This will probably be a not safe for work production. So, introduction first. I think it's safe to know that CondorDM and I have a very toxic relationship. He has said some very awful things about me over the years, and I may have said a few things about him that were not pleasant. Knowing full well the amount of toxicity I am going to receive from him for posting this, and I'm not getting anything out of it, you might ask yourself, why even review this? And why would anybody pay $35 for this? So why would I review this knowing full well the type of individual Condor or Steven Sanders is? There's his real name for anybody who wants to know. Why would I do this? Well, curiosity. Take away all the negativity, take away all the toxicity, take away all the victim, take away the fact that he's going to say, you know, I'm a pathological liar, I'm jealous, I'm trying to get subs off of him. What is the one thing that stands out about this individual? Time after time after time, video after video after video. He is very confident about his experience. That is his number one claim to fame, that he has more experience in the tabletop role-playing game community since 1991, which is his current origin date. He has more experience than anybody else. He claims he has more experience than the old school running games. He has more experience than the Bro SR running games. He has more experience than the indie developers running game. He has compared his experience to Gygax. He is, you know, and he constantly says, we're jealous of him. We lie about him. We hate him, but he has more experience about us. He has said that his countless years of playing, hundreds and hundreds of people he's run for, that this is the product that has come out of that. So I would go into this expecting that an individual who has claimed as much experience in the tabletop role-playing game community should have something to offer. So setting aside my personal relationship, I am doing this for you guys so you don't have to, because I don't want anybody to give this piece of shit $35. And I think we know that anybody who has paid for this and anybody who's going to pay for it is not paying for it because they want to play the game. They're paying $35 to buy this game so they can talk shit about him. And you know, that's not the right reason to buy a game. If you want to buy a game and talk shit about something, you should buy mine. Mine's only $15. He's charging $35. And for every sale, he's going to say, look, I won. But the 3 sales so far, I know all the individuals who have bought it so far, and they have all bought it with the intent of reviewing it and pointing out how awful it is, which is why I'm doing this. So you don't have to. I do this so you don't have to. Yeah, so it's very hard to review this individual considering how many negative things he has said recently alone. He has made it very clear he doesn't want reviews. He's not making copies of reviews available. He's made it very clear he didn't play test this. He used AI art, but for some reason he made the AR art separate, so there is no art in this product. He used AI art with watermarks, which I'm pretty sure you can't do. Now, I don't know all the legal mumbo jumbo about copyright and legal protection in Canada, but here in the United States, in regards to copyrights and using other people's stuff and just protecting your own work, there's certain things you need to say and do. If you're going to use AI art, you need to be very clear about the AI art and who you were getting the art from, which he didn't do. In fact, there's nothing on here in regards to legal protection himself. I hope bare minimum he mailed a copy of this to himself so he can at least get the poor man's copyright. As this stands, I could make copies of this available to people because he's not done anything to protect it. So going in as somebody who has never, ever seen this guy before, and he wants me to pay $24.91 for his game now. He's marked it down. So just by this, let's just start with the introduction on the webpage. Some of you know me as CondorDM, YouTube. I've been running since 1991. Okay, again, there is Condor's unusual grasp on time. I promised myself that I would take my time, spend at the table, and turn this into something special. I put a lot into the Neo tabletop role-playing game system. I created this game by myself. Before going further, make it clear this is one half of a tabletop role-playing game. Regardless, with this alone you could play, you must, spelled wrong, provide a setting, and you can use what is here to easily make monsters and more. Do that, and this will provide you with everything else you need. To get to the other half of the game, you'll have to wait until drive-thru approves the other half of this. It should be up soon. What makes this game stand out? First, let me set the groundwork. This is a medieval fantasy game leaning on some new tech. Okay, that's nothing I haven't seen before. In it, you will choose to play people called the Volcanon and have classes, skills, magic, psychic powers, and much more to choose from. Again, nothing new. There's guns in this game. For somebody who constantly says he is an AD&D R player, guns, but okay. There are many ways to die, even starving to death. There are rules for drugs, alcohol, and even insanity. The rules for drugs, alcohol, even and insanity are less than a page. In this game, there are levels, a lot of magic items, war mechanics, siege war machines, and even naval combat. It's a unique D100 system. Not really. The only dice you need for this game are D10s and D6s. There's no need to roll for initiative. You have strong characters from the start. Again, isn't this an individual who repeatedly has said he is against the starting as heroes methodology of 5e? But there is a lot there to challenge the character. The game doesn't focus on combat. There's a social system for the game. Experience is also rewarded in a unique way to create incentive for all ages of the game. Did I mention there's a very detailed setting for the game and almost 100 monsters? This is not a clone. This game was made from scratch. If you wish to purchase the full game, blah, 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 blah. And this is his little video he made. And then if you go to his page, he talks about, again, you know, how great the game is, everything he's done, his experience. So why wouldn't I pay $35 for this, considering I've given money to other people who I don't know? And I would compare this to another person he has talked about, Shadowdark. Why would I give Kelsey $50 but not give him $35? Because Kelsey has spent the previous 5 years developing a reputation and developing information about the game. So I felt confident in backing this. I have no idea who this individual is. I don't know his history as a gamer. I've never seen anything by him before. He's never shown any videos of him actual gaming. All he knows, he claims to be experienced. So perfectly unbiased, neutral. That's what I'm looking at this again. So I have done scripts. I have reviewed games by people I don't like, so I can be impartial. And I'm going to start with the preview, because again, he's made it very clear. There's no review copies about this. It is just simply selling on his ego and how confident he is. Now, again, for full clarity, I have already spent a few hours going over this, but your guys are going to experience this just as I am, for those of you who haven't already. Let's see if I can get the comptometer to show it to you. Okay. Looking at this as somebody who has worked for a production company, looking at scripts, looking at this who has worked for a game company, and looking for submitted games. The first thing I see, no cover art. The second thing I see, no page numbers. No headers, no footers, no copyright. No table of contents. Instead, I have this double spaced 1, 2, 3. 2.5 pages of telling me this is, but it doesn't tell me what page on it is, which means I will instinctively go to the index if there's something specifically I want to look up. So we'll scroll all the way down to the bottom of his 1,000+ page product. No index. So the second thing I want to see is a character record sheet. No character record sheet. If you're introducing me to a brand new system that I've never seen before, I want an example of how to make a character, and I want a character sheet so I can make a character to test the system. So already I'm seeing issues with this. I'll give it the same, 10 seconds that I give anybody else as a script. No page numbers. That's a no. That's bad. No cover art, no header, no footer, no copyright, no legal thing. We go right into the introduction on page 3. Okay, he tells us who we are, he tells us, and then we get this. He says instinctively, this is not a lengthy novel. We get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Badly edited, several spelling mistakes. There is a very condescending voice to this. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, I've already lost interest. You have failed to sell me this game in 10 minutes. There is no proofreading. There is no professional layout. There is no art. There is no examples. There's no character record sheet. There is nothing to sell this game. Why would I want to pay $35 for this game, Steven? Simply because you say it's great? I've got a stack of scripts here, and my job is to find my producer a script that he can make a movie out. I've got to go through 100 scripts. You need to sell me on your movie in under 2 minutes. You need to sell me on your game in under 2 minutes. I see nothing, no artwork. There's nothing that sells me visually about this game. I see no table of contents. I see no index. I see no example character sheet. How do I make a character for your game? Because that's the first thing I'd want to know. My phone's ringing, but I can't answer it right now. Okay, hold on. Hi, I'm doing internet. Can I call you back in like a minute? Okay, sorry about that. So I'd want to go to his videos and see if he talks about the game, which I did, and he doesn't. Basically, he just repeats what we've already gone through. And again, there's the condescending, I'm better than you because I have more experience than you, so therefore you need to buy my game because it's that great. And if my game doesn't sell, it's because the old school sabotages me. Now, I got to tell you, Stephen, in all honesty, our personal relationship aside, this is bad. Okay, my man, this is bad. The fact that you used art with watermarks and AI art is bad. In fact, I'm pretty sure the drive-through policy for watermarked art is you can't use it. I don't know. I also know you live in a different country, so maybe the rules are different, but I see nothing legally protecting you on here. You just threw this out there without any thinking that, hey, people could copy this, scrub off a few things, and then resell it. This is a rough draft. This is a word vomit note product with nothing to sell the game for me. If it takes me longer than 2 minutes to find how to make a character with no art, I've lost interest. Why am I going to buy your game? What about this game is different than 100 other games that do the same thing, something that you have repeatedly made videos about you don't do? Your years of experience running Advanced Dungeons and Dragons 2nd edition, making you the king of 2nd edition, your words, not mine. Your constant videos about how the old school persecutes you and sabotages you. You present as an extremely negative individual who has a persecution complex because you've never provided any proof about the lies that the old school is telling about you. So again, I'm just looking at this as somebody who's looked at hundreds of scripts, and I know he'll say that's not true. and who has looked at hundreds of games, and he'll tell you that's not true. He'll tell you I'm a pathological liar. I fully am going into this expecting the negativity. This is just a default setting words thing. There's nothing about this, Stephen, that would sell this game to anyways. And for you to expect somebody to pay $35 for a game that is this poorly put together with nothing backing you up, this game needs another year of play testing, dude. You need to run this game for at least 100 different people. You need to go through this and step by step fix these mistakes. You didn't even lay it out infinity. Instead, you used PDF, which is fine because I've presented games in PDF, and I know several hundred people that presented games simply in the PDF format without using a layout. But even if you're just going to use PDF, there is a certain way you need to present the product, which you have failed to do. And quite frankly, you could have paid somebody $5 on Fiverr to lay it out for you. But then you would have to give them credit, which is another thing that I am very uncomfortable with, that there is nothing in here about credit. There is nothing in here covering you legally, dude. So you may hate the messenger, but the message is you're not doing anything to protect yourself. There's no mention of a copyright. There's nothing saying here, I cannot reproduce this. There's no mention of the artist you use, nothing. You're asking for trouble, dude. There are so many glaring things in here that somebody who is less scrupulous for me could go through this, scrub off a few things, and present it as their own product for far less. Nobody's going to give you $35 for this, dude. Your reputation, your videos, and how unprofessional this is would make anybody just go, I'm not giving this kid $35. This is a piece of crap. Steven, I'm sorry, dude. This is unprofessional. This is a 5-year-old, somebody who continuously claims has many years of experience in the tabletop role-playing game community as you do, and who has accomplished as much as you claim you do, needed to present something better than this. You're going to say, well, look, it's selling. I assure you, Stephen, the people who are buying your game are buying it because they want to say awful things about you. With the exception of maybe one other individual, this is probably the most unbiased review you're going to get, dude. I know you're going to say I hate you, which is fine. I fully expect there to be negative response to this. I hope somewhere in that brain of yours, some small part of you can hear what I'm telling you and separate it from your negative reaction to this, because this is awful, dude. I'm not saying this to be hurtful. My best constructive criticism is start over. I don't know if this is a good game. It does, from your introduction, it's nothing I haven't heard before. A world with magic and technology. How is that different than every other product out there that's a world of magic and technology that has been out there since Expedition to the Barrier Peaks? I mean, there's magic and technology in the first draft of Dungeons and Dragons. That's not a selling point for me. I've got 100 games that do magic and technology. New races, new classes, new spells. Okay, show me those. 10 pages and I'm still not done through the introduction. I've already lost interest. The fluff should be at the back. There should be an introduction, a general, this is what the game's about. Bam! How to make a character. This is what sells your game. Here's my example character sheet. This is how to make a character. Here's an example complete character. Here's the stuff, the class stuff, the race stuff, the shopping stuff, so that your first level character is ready to go from between 10 minutes and a half an hour. Yes, you do need to complete the product. This is a manuscript that this PDF and sold. But it doesn't tell me anything about the game, okay? Okay, so he wants to, let's look at the mechanics, okay? Let's see if we can find any mechanics. We're still in the very long introduction. Okay, time to explore the game mechanics. He uses a D100 system that's over-under. You roll your characters randomly on a D100 based on the stats. So every one of your stats is going to be from 0, 1 to 100. Every time you roll, you can choose to roll over your stat or under your stat. And so basically, you're gambling. There's no high-low. There's no bell curve. You can, every time you roll in his system, you're saying, here's my percentile. I'm trying to roll under my 57 dex. Or here's my percentile. I'm trying to roll over my 10 dex. So you want to roll over if your stat's low, and you want to run under if your stat's high. Is this original? I don't think so. And it's far too clunky. It's far too gimmicky. And then after you decide, either I've got a dex of 10. And do I want to risk rolling over 10 or under 10? Then you add whatever bonuses there are. He says you add bonuses. I don't know what those are because he doesn't get. I need an example. I need an example of how this works. I need some things. Then we've got minor systems, ability scores, reset dice rolls, high, low. 0 to 50 is low, 51 to 100 is high. The player chooses before the roll. If the player it succeeds, they get it. If they don't, they fail. So that's not a high-low roll. That's a gambling roll. And it's unnecessarily clunky. If you're copying Call of Cthulhu, basic role-playing, or any other percentile-based system, it's either roll under or roll over. It's not either or. That is, I assure you, that can be easily broken and manipulated by anybody with even a basic understanding of bell curve percentile and math. And they're always going to roll over the low stats and under the high stats because you're guaranteed the success. And then you add a mechanic where I can add bonuses to that roll even further. Yeah. I know 100 murder hobos who would break that in a second. Okay, so where are my pluses and minuses? Where are my actual stats? What are my stats? I still haven't seen my stats. Okay, social, is that a stat? I guess social's a stat. Combat? No. Skills, did I miss the stats? I don't know because there's no table of contents. How do I make a character? Okay, so this is one of his tables. Applying target numbers. So is this a difficulty? Easy is 20, impossible is 150. I don't know. These isn't labeled. I haven't read anything that jumps out to me that makes me say, I want to play this game. That's cool. That's unique. The over-under system. No, that's unnecessarily gimmicky and clunky and prone to being broken. Having play-tested GURPS and other systems that adds that methodology in the right hands with somebody who understands the math that's so easily broken. I would want to see some knowledge that this has been play-tested and you can prove that it's not broken. Then there's something here called the gate key. I guess we're getting more introduction of the world. The chosen ones, I guess that's your player characters. The Olmec gates, okay, that's blatantly stolen. Which is fine. There's no original ideas. How to open the gates. Then for some reason, there's a random spell. Move object. Okay, now finally we get to character creation. I don't know what page we're on, but I'm sure we've gone through at least 25, 30 pages before we get to this. You roll high and add your staff if the supervisions are correct. So if I've got a 20, I'm rolling over 20 and I'm adding the numbers, except that's not what it says. It says you choose to roll over your number and succeed or roll under your number and succeed. So I want to keep my stats around 50, that means, because that gives me a 50% chance to roll under, a 50% chance to roll over. And then based upon how the plus minus system works, I would gear my character to the point where I'm always rolling, or as many times as I can, over. It's the halfling luck cleric build, okay? Yes, perhaps we are too simple-minded to understand it. Remember, Stephen repeatedly tells us how unintelligent we are, how uneducated we are, how inexperienced we are. So I don't know who the audience is because he's gone out of his way to disenfranchise himself from the old school. He's gone out of his way to disenfranchise himself from the indie game developers. He's gone out of his way to disenfranchise himself from the new school, constantly telling us how he is the king of AD&D. This is the image he projects. This is not the product of somebody who claims they're the king of D&D. This is a self-glorification ego project. I mean, I've got self-glorification ego projects. The very first thing I published was a self-glorification ego project. It was laid out better than this because I paid somebody to lay it out. His target is his 900 subscribers if those subscribers are actual people. Let's assume 10 to 50 of them are probably bots. Now, depending upon who you believe, Stephen either has or has not paid for subs. And most of your subs, Stephen, are people who sub to you because they hate you and they want to see how awful you are. And then they want to laugh at you. You're going to talk about diversity in dragons? You're absolutely right. There is an individual who repeatedly points out just how awful you are. Why would I want to say anything nice about you? You've never said anything even remotely positive about me, despite your whole open theater of ideas. You want to have debates. You want to talk to people. I attempted to do that with you, and it was of no use. And you're going to say, well, I'm lying. You've only known me for 3 years. Of course, there are videos dating back to 2017 with you and I having conversations. So that's not true. But that's just me being vindictive. And it's very hard for me not to be vindictive. It's very hard for me to just look at this neutrally, but I'm trying my best. And as from a neutral point of view of somebody who has done this professionally, if this was a script, I wouldn't pass it on to my producer. I'd send them a very nice letter telling them what they need to do, or I'd send them a very mean letter, but I definitely would not accept this. If this was something that came across my desk when I was working for Bad Monkey or when I was working for the gaming production company and I saw this laid out like this, I would never pass it on. I would never pass it on. I would send it back to you going, dear sir, this is what you need to do, bare minimum. And then you present me AI art in an RL folder that has no connection to this, and the AR art still has the watermarks on it. I'm pretty sure you can't do that. I was told specifically you can't do that. Maybe Canada's different. I don't know. I don't know. I hope that you at least bare minimum did the mail it to yourself. If you can't afford copyright, you can't afford registering with the Writers Guild, that's fine. Copyright's very expensive. I understand that. But there are still things you can do to protect yourself, none of which you did, dude. I could literally give copies of my copy out to other people because there's nothing on here saying I can't. That's just not professional, my friend. All right, ability scores. Okay. What am I rolling? Ability scores. Ability scores. Okay, so I'm rolling 1d100 for each of these. 150 is the highest stat. 1 is the lowest stat. Obviously, once he's told us, I'm shooting for around 50 for every stat. That way I can gear my character to either always roll over 50 or always roll under 50. Again, it's the Halfling Luck Cleric from 5e. You build the character around the ability to constantly reroll dice, or you build the character to constantly take advantage of the dice system so that you are succeeding more than you're failing. You roll D100 7 times, apply the results to your character score, place them as you wish. You can always try and gamble them. He's got a rule for that. Again, double spacing, no page numbers, no index. And then, okay, here's our stats. Agility, charisma, intelligence, luck, magic, health, strength. Then some more self-gratification. Then the ability to store scars. Laid out horribly. Even my dyslexic Luddite ass knows how to make a table and then convert that table to PDF so that it's presented as a table. You didn't even bother to do that. That's just lazy. I don't know what this means. Okay, so 20 to 41. This is my agility bonus. This is my target number. This is my initiative. And this is my move. And flying, swimming, and running speed are exactly the same. I fly at 3, I run at 3, and I swim at 3. Can you say Shadowrun? Charisma, again, just laid out. This is just bad, dude. This is just unprofessional. Okay, I have luck. I have luck points. Luck points should be a derived stat. It shouldn't be a static stat. Health should be a derived stat, not a static stat, but okay. Strength, we all know how strength works. Oh, adding weight, that's different. That's unusual. I'd make it a formula, but okay, that's something you don't normally see. I don't know how accurate this is, you know, as somebody who is a research whore like myself. If I'm going to present tables like this, I'm going to want to double check the accuracy of, okay, and then convert it. But okay, let's say the most you can lift is 1,000 pounds. The strongest person in Steven's world can lift 1,000 pounds. Dude, I know guys off the street who can lift more than 1,000 pounds. Fuck. Go down to, you know, Muscle Beach. Check out, what's that guy's name? Olaf, the guy who like lifted 3,000 pounds. The guy who pulls the train. The guy who's the on Reacher season 3, the Polly. That guy's huge, and that guy's got like a world record for weight lifting. So yeah, okay, but fine. It's low magic, right? 1,000 pounds. The strongest person in Steven's world can lift 1,000 pounds. That's an elephant. He has one race, the Volcana, who are basically his humans. They're the first. They're the chosen. Oh no, wait. They're a mixing of people. So there's humans and Volcana. There's no makes Volcana. No child has ever been born to 2 different types of Volcana parents. Okay. So you choose, but the only character you can play is a Volcana. Here's the Volcana's culture. Then there's something called the Bruton. Are these a player character race? Because you just told me the only player character race is the Volcana. And the Bruton looks like his orcs. Then there's humans. Okay, so there are humans. You can play them, right? Yes? No? Didn't you just tell me I can only play the Volcana? Yeah, what's that guy's name? Isn't that the guy who's on Reacher this season? As the secondary the second bad guy, he's playing Polly. The guy's taller than the guy who's playing Reacher, and the guy who plays Reacher is a fucking brick. Like, if you want to see Bane from DC in real life, the guy who's playing Reacher is Bane. Is that his name? Jesus Alvarez? That guy is fucking huge. Like, he dwarfs Brock Lesnar. And he's yoked. I'm sure there's some HGH. Anyways, I off the trait, but yeah. Sorry, I got off there, but I'm watching Reacher 3, season 3. It's, awesome. Sharwind, elves. Shar. Don't know. Doesn't tell me what they are. They've got to develop a strong resistance to poison. Dwarves? Oh, they're charming and sneaky in nature. Halflings. Sorgon, beautiful hill giants. Dwarves. Zenmore, small, basically. Oh, these could be dwarves too. I don't know. They're basically, yeah, they're dwarves. They're humans who are born small. Little sizism there. And then we have his class. Play it like you want. Starting equipment. Money pouch, a backpack, a full water skin. Equipment plus. Class abilities and benefits. Okay, now we get his classes. Are you bored yet? Because if I would have been bored now, I would not want anybody to pay money for this game. The mechanics aren't anything I haven't seen before. It's lazy. There's no explanation. There's no examples. There's no page numbers. There's no index. There's nothing to, I've lost it. I don't know how to make a character. I've wasted 35 minutes on this and we're still, if this was any other book, this would be like 5 pages. This is at least what, 40, 50 pages, and we're still not through the character creation section. I wanted to play this game. I'd already be like, I don't want to play this game. This is too much work. I still don't really know how to make a character. How about an example? All right, let's move on to the heart and soul. Combat. I would tell you what page combat's on, but of course, Steven chose to not include a table of contents. He doesn't even have the bookmark links built into his PDF. Your PDF program should do that automatically. So we just have this thing. I think if I do this, I can make it bigger, right? All right. I do not see a combat system yet. I just see tables. I'm on page 671. I still haven't seen combat. I think I'm looking at his monsters. So we've got at least 100 monsters, none of which have art. All right. I assume there is a combat system. His trade and currency is 2 paragraphs with no examples. High and low systems, sociality, high, drunk, insanity, poisons, combat. No clue what page that is. Control F. Combat. Thanks. Aaron. It's loading results. Page numbers in the table of contents. OGGM, there's no table in combats and vigilantes. I made one. I don't know what happened to it. When I reprint it, I'll include the table of contents. At least I had page numbers. All right, it's having trouble finding the combat section. So we're going to hunt and peck. Is it before his weapon monsters? Okay, I'm guessing it's before his monsters. Oh, here we go. Here's his naval combat system. Who I wonder who he stole this from. Okay, I think I found the combat system. Oh my God. It's literally hurting my eyes, dude. I'm literally getting a headache from this. Melee combat with weapons. Fighting with a sprained, broken, or lost limb. Okay. Fighting while in pain. These are all good. I mean, they're not original, but it's all good to have this. That's new. That's different. That's something you don't often see. I mean, that I'd put that in the DM's guide, not the player's handbook, and I'd put that in a different place. But okay. Oh, wait. Okay. Wait. I passed it. Initiative. Combat does not rely on rolling dice for initiative. Instead, the game employs an initiative rank system to determine the order of actions. Passive group initiative. Initiative ranks from 1 to 10 are based on the character's agility score. Characters with the higher rank act before those with the lower rank. Determining initiative. Rank comparison. A character with initiative rank 6 will act before a character with initiative rank 8. So I want my initiative rank to be lower. No, I'm ending this in like 10 minutes, Shadow, because I got to call my mom back and I got ready for our game at 1. And I've already spent 40 minutes going through this and I'm still not sure how to make a character. And I still don't know how the combat system works. So lower the better. A character with a higher rank acts before those with a lower rank. Example, the character with the 6 will act before a character with 8. The character with the higher rank will act before those with the lower rank. The character with the 6 will act before the character with the 8. I'm dyslexic. I'm mathematically dyslexic. I'm not that smart. I have borderline brain damage. 8 is higher than 6. So the 8 should go before the 6, especially since your agility table is up. The 150 character has a higher bonus than the 50 character, and the 50 character has a higher bonus than the 10 character. So the 150 agility character should be going first. Just don't have it, just initiative based upon dex. The system is always going to favor the character with the higher dex. Anybody who learns that, they're going to be I'm going to be building a character to take advantage of that. It's villains and vigilantes. Higher dex goes before lower dex, and a higher dex character gets more actions. Higher dex means I go quicker in combat. Then yes, I'm going to be favoring a higher dex because I'm going to break that. If you've run this for the thousands of hours you claim to have run this, then you should know that. Except, of course, you're very clear on the fact that you haven't play tested this. All right, I'm going to wrap this up, guys, because I think we've devoted enough energy to this. We all know that Steven is going to say some horrible things about me. He's going to say I'm wrong, I'm a pathological liar, I'm inexperienced, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm jealous, I hate him, I'm trying to sabotage him. And you can choose to believe that, or you can choose not to. I can tell you with all honesty, Steven, I don't hate you. I feel bad for you. I think you're a horrible human being, but I think you need help. But I don't hate you. I don't really hate anybody. No, I don't think so. Unless you guys really want me to do a part 2. I'd have to go through it again. The layout of the product is awful. It is unprofessional. It's as amateur. It's word vomit. Anybody in the industry would look at this and go, no. If I go to drive-through, I look at your preview, I look at the word vomit, and I see the very first thing, no cover art, no table of contents, no page number, no index, no legal stuff. I don't even know if I could look at it because you didn't include the legal stuff. Here's the thing, guys, and I said this at the beginning. He's already sold 3 copies. I know who bought those 3 copies. None of them bought those 3 copies because they're friends of Steven or they think this is a great game. They bought it for curiosity, and they bought it for eventually doing videos where they basically tell you how awful it is. Everybody who has seen this has not said one good thing about it. He's going to read that. He's going to hear that. And he's going to say, it's because you hate me. It's because you sabotaging me. That's the voice in his head. And that's the response I'm expecting from this. Because you hate me, because you're trying to sabotage me, because the old school lies about me. But it's there, Steven. It's there, plain as the nose on my face. Personal feelings aside, this is just badly laid out. Nobody's going to pay $35 for this. Maybe $10 of curiosity if you sold it better. If you sold it on the art. If you sold it on the example. Do a quick start, okay? Do a quick start, a 20-page quick start with some example characters and put that online. Don't put your heart and soul game online and present it this badly, dude, because any sales you're getting is because people hate you. And any reviews you're going to get is because people want to tell you how bad this game is. I hope you're listening to the words and putting your emotions aside. You need to take this off. You need to redo it, present it in a presentable format. You don't want to lay it out in Affinity. Pay somebody on Fiverr to do it. I did. It's like $20. Have at least some art in the game and do not use watermarked AI art. Okay? Drive-thru is already coming down on AI art. They're definitely going to go, hey, watermarked art, are you giving the individual who made the original art credit? Because if not, I think you get in trouble, right? I mean, again, I don't know the rules for Canada. I know in the United States, I can't use watermark art without giving credit to the individual I got the watermark art from. I can't use public domain art without giving credit to the public domain source. I can't use AI art without saying I used AI art and this is the AI art program I used. Maybe Canada is different. I don't know. Dude, I would release a quick start, a 20-page quick start. I would, if you are as active in the tabletop role-playing game community in Canada as you claim you are with your thousands of players, start playtesting this. Playtest this for 6 months, a year, with a ton of people. Shave this down. Represent it professionally. A year from now, if I look at this again, I want to go, hey, I want to buy this game despite how much I dislike Condor, or I don't want to buy this game. Anybody else looking at what your preview, anybody else look at your rolling self-congratulatory introduction and not seeing art, not seeing a table of contents, not seeing an example character sheet, not seeing an index, not seeing page numbers, and worst of all, not seeing anything legally protecting you, I don't see anybody wanting to spend $35 on this, dude. I'm sorry. I know you're going to justify this as me hating you. But please, dude, before somebody comes after you legally for the art alone, you might want to rethink this, because this is just 1,000 pages plus of word vomit, of self-congratulatory nonsense. It is badly laid out. It is badly presented. It is unprofessional. It is amateurish. I don't know how to say this. For somebody who claims he has thousands and thousands of hours of experience, this does not show me experience. Bottom line, I would not take this manuscript and pass it on to the next person upline. Bottom line, I would never produce this. I would never buy this. Not because I don't like you, but because it's just bad, dude. It's just badly laid out. It almost makes me feel awful just to even do this, because again, I feel bad about this. This was his baby, and I'm telling him how awful his baby is, but you need the constructive criticism. Maybe there is a gem of genius in this game. Don't know. I have no interest in this game because it's so badly laid out. I don't want to spend the time to try and chip away the diamond that is hidden in this mud. I don't know how else to say this. Thank you for sticking with me for 50 minutes. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe and check out my product, shameless self-promotion, please do. I have provided a link to the webpage if you want to pick up your own copy of this game, despite all my warnings not to. I can't stop you. I have a copy. For full transparency, that copy was given to me as a gift by an individual who has chosen to remain nameless. They know who they are. Thank you very much for gifting me this. There's no promise that if not for that, I would never have spent a dime on this. Not because I dislike Steven. I dislike it. Yeah. Anyways, have a great day. Like, share, subscribe. Stay safe out there. It's a lovely Saturday, so why are you listening to me? Go outside. Here's that song.
Television goes screaming, flying, tiger, lights at the lights.